Chair, what will be the basis for a quorum for today's meeting?
The last time, I saw stated that for purposes of determination of quorum, 11 members or 1/5 of the regular members of the committee will constitute a quorum for purposes of transacting business. But since the rules of impeachment says that in the determination of form and substance and the committee report to be submitted under Section 8, the chair ruled that for purposes of voting, we need absolute majority. That is in response to your parliamentary inquiry.
Does this mean, Mr. Chair, that for purposes of voting on sufficiency in form, which I believe will be tackled today, we are requiring a majority of all members, but for purposes of deliberating on the merits of sufficiency in form or substance, 20% would be enough? Is that the meaning of the chair?
Very well. Yes, Your Honor. Just for deliberation purposes and for discussion, minus the voting.
Mr. Chair, I will reserve my right to question that ruling once we vote on the sufficiency in form. But in order not to delay the proceedings, I will yield to other members. Thank you.
Mr. Chairman.
Mr.
Chairman.
Thank
you, Mr. Chairman. I would also like to reserve my right to respectfully debate that point on the matter of the rules on quorum. But at this point in time, Mr. Chairman, may I just put on record that before the good chairman called the hearing to order, it was my understanding that the good chairman agreed that after he called the hearing to order, he would momentarily suspend the rules in order to allow a former member of Congress, a former Senate President, no less, and the lead complainant in this impeachment complaint, Senator Jovito Arsalonga, to deliver a brief message to the committee. I would just like to put on record, Mr. Chairman, that I am really very disappointed that we could not continue to make that gracious gesture on the part of the House Committee on Justice and a show of parliamentary courtesy when the good chairman informed me that he had changed his mind about allowing Senator Salonga to give his message to the committee. I think that it's very regrettable that based on the objection of some of the senior members, vice chairpersons of the committee, and senior members of the committee, that the good chairman told me that he will no longer allow Senator Salonga to briefly address the committee. I think it is really a sin of omission on this morning, Mr. Chairman. Thank you.
Mr. Chairman, will the chair answer the question first? I share your regrets, Your Honor, and I'll be answering that for the higher interest of the committee. The Honorable Golez is recognized.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Chairman, I'd like to take up two things. The first one was on the matter of quorum and which quorum is applicable. Mr. Chairman, I'd like to call the attention of this committee to the minutes of our proceedings last week, where it was mentioned here that after the roll call called by the committee secretary, I'm referring to the last paragraph, that the chair declared that there was no quorum because there were only 23 members who responded to the roll call. Mr. Chairman, I reviewed the minutes, and the minutes indicate that at that point, we were not yet on the verge of voting on the form of the impeachment complaint. There was no motion to vote. There were only general discussions. And therefore, based on what the chair declared just a few minutes ago, this declaration that there was no quorum may be put to question, although it may be too late for that, but for purposes of setting precedents, Mr. Chairman, action of the chair last week does not conform with the statement of the chair just a few minutes ago, because it's very clear from the minutes that we were not yet about to vote on the question of form as far as the impeachment complaint is concerned. That is my first point, Mr. Chairman.
Inquiry of the gentleman will be answered properly at the proper time. In the meantime, for this committee to tackle its business, first we must now ask the secretary to call the roll.
But the second, I said I have two matters to discuss. The second matter, Mr. Chairman, is on the question of allowing anyone to speak before this committee. Well, of course, the chair may have his opinion, but that matter is going to be a matter that the entire committee will decide. So it is something that can be put a vote, and if the committee will allow it, notwithstanding the position of the chairman, then anyone can speak in this committee. I think that is the rule, Mr. Chairman.
The calling of the roll takes the highest precedence.
Mr. Chairman,
Only proceed with any business, we must first determine the quorum.
Mr. Chairman,
Mr. Chairman, I'm sorry, but
this is a
may I
point of
ask the
order.
secretary?
Point of order, Mr. Chairman.
Yes, what's the
Mr. Chairman,
rule that's been violated?
Yes, Mr. Chairman, what is the quorum? Because obviously the chair will rule when we do the roll call and announce how many members are present. The chair will rule whether or not there is a quorum. And from what Congressman Golez has actually mentioned, there has been two rulings of the chair. A quorum is present whether there is 20% or a quorum that is present which requires 55, thus half of absolute majority.
With all due respect, Your Honor, the chair has already answered the question, and the point of order is to point out what's wrong. But if it's in the nature of parliamentary inquiry, I guess the determination of quorum takes all precedence over all other motions. May the secretary please now call the roll.
Honorable Matias Defensor Jr., Chairman. Honorable Francis Castro. Honorable Edsel Lagman. Honorable Mauricio Dumogan. Honorable George Arnaiz. Honorable Raul Gonzalez Jr. Honorable Pablo John Garcia. Honorable Juan Romulo. Honorable Antonio Cuenco. Honorable Ezequiel Javier.